top-seeded Suns. A Game 1 tips tonight in Phoenix. The Suns looking to get back to the finals for the second straight year. The Suns have owned the series as of late. They swept the regular season, outscoring Dallas by almost 8 points per game. Dating back to 2019, the Suns have won 9 straight games versus the Mavericks. But today is a new day, Big Perk. Tell me this, which guard will have the biggest impact in this series?
I'm going with Luka Doncic on this one.
Hold on.
For the simple fact, when you look at
Hold on.
What?
Before you get into your point, you sat up there with that perpetual frown on your face over a week ago telling me the Pelicans was going to win that series. You apologize and say, Stephen A., you were right before you make your point about Luka.
I ain't apologizing for nothing. For the simple fact, before the series started, let me explain something to you.
That's
a nice try, but you know,
I tried to catch you.
He can body you in 2 seconds.
Hey, listen, look, check this out. I picked before Devin Booker got injured, I picked the Suns to win in 6. Devin Booker went out, and then I switched and said the Pelicans was gonna win.
I know, that's what I'm talking about.
Because of the injury to Devin Booker.
I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I mean that don't count.
I'm saying I still picked the Suns after Devin Booker went down. That's what we were arguing about.
Okay. Good for you.
You're both
Good
wrong.
you.
Let's carry on.
He knows.
Carry on. Everybody's wrong. Everyone's wrong. Carry on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You listen, I'm going with Luka Doncic in this series. I'm not going with the Mavericks, but I am going with Luka Doncic to have the biggest impact for his perimeter play. Look, a few years ago, 2 years ago, I said this. Luka Doncic is LeBron James minus the athleticism. And damn it, that's exactly who he is. When you talk about a guy that's able to impose his will on the outside, go down to the low block area, impose his will, 6'7", brute strength, finishing in the lane with floaters and things of that nature. Hell, he's even getting above the rim now. You may catch him jumping above the rim and dunking the ball, but able to rebound in the paint, able to make others around him better. It's no other guy outside of Giannis Antetokounmpo that I'm taking right now, like for his top 2 players. It's Giannis and then it's Luka. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo, then it's Luka Doncic in my eyes, the way that he's capable of taking over not only a game, but a series. You saw what he did to the Utah Jazz when he got back.
First of all, don't get me started in them damn Utah Jazz. I'm glad they home. They never show up for Donovan Mitchell. As far as I'm concerned, he should want to leave. And don't get me wrong, he didn't have the greatest series himself, and I understand that. And I was hurt that Mike Conley turned the ball over on that travel play late in the game, because that's something that's atypical for him. He doesn't normally do something like that. But the Jazz, I knew they would let it. I knew they would fold because it's what they do, okay? So let's see what happens to them in the offseason. Secondly, I'm going to give some love to the New Orleans Pelicans. And I'm going to make this statement right with you on the air, Kendrick Perkins. Zion Williamson is holding up their championship aspirations. With what David Griffin has put together with that young talent, with the acquisition of C.J. McCollum there as well, Alvarado, I love that kid. Murray, I love that kid, along with a few of their young thoroughbreds that are long, lanky, athletic with a whole bunch of heart. Zion Williamson is holding up the franchise. Damn it, get yourself healthy. Be ready to play and get on the basketball court. You don't need to go anywhere else. You can stay right there. And the New Orleans Pelicans, with that fan base, they're going to be a championship contender. Now, I ain't sold on the name of the arena, the Smoothie King Arena. I actually think that gets in the way, for crying out loud, because it just connotes softness, which they are not. But let me tell you something right now. The New Orleans Pelicans are coming, and everybody needs to pay attention to that. Now, getting to the Phoenix Suns against Dallas, Luka's a star. I know that. The brother's a superstar. He's something special. But so is Devin Booker. And Devin Booker, I'm glad he got that last game under his belt. Only shot 5 of 12 from the field. Only shot 1 of 6 from 3-point range. He was not himself. We get that. He's been back. And when Luka came back, Luka instantly dropped 30. I know what Luka can do. We understand that. But I think in this particular series, when you talk about which guard will have the biggest impact, I'm predicting Phoenix is going to lose, and that Phoenix is going to have I think that Dallas is going to have a different problem because even though you could throw some stuff at Booker, I think being able to throw a Crowder or Bridges at a Luka, I ultimately think that can make things difficult for him too. Now, he's going to get his because he's too great not to. But I'm not sleeping on Booker and the impact that he could have in this series, KP. I'm really not.
No, me either. Me either. But I just think Luka presence is going to be felt way more. Like when we look at numbers and we go and look at impact and the impact on winning. Why? Because no disrespect to the Dallas Mavericks and the others, because I don't want to disrespect them at all. When we talk about Finney-Smith, Jalen Brunson, we talk about Powell and what they've been doing and bringing to the table, I want to respect those guys, but they're just not a better supporting cast or better than the Phoenix Suns overall as a team. That's why I got the Suns winning this series. I got it going 7 games, but I got it going 7 games. The same reason I got the Celtics going 7 games is because they have to play and get past Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Phoenix Suns got to get past this problem right here in Luka Doncic because that guy is a problem. I think
they will, and he's definitely a problem and a half. But unlike Giannis, who will throw shooters open. When he give it to them, they're going to be open because he draws so much attention. Certainly, Luka draws the attention, but you usually got somebody either sitting up there and trying to defend them straight up, or you might blitz him real quick and he might give it to somebody else. We get that. My position, though, is you're going to have guys around him who are going to encounter contested shots all day long. And I don't think that they're going to be able to get free. They're going to get freed up, and more of that pressure is going to be brought on Luka. And I think it's going to be too much for him in this particular series. I don't see the Dallas Mavericks being able to do that against the Phoenix Suns and Devin Booker. And that's why I say Booker will have the biggest impact on this series. And I think that the Suns are going to win this series in 6 games. Yeah.
Okay.
Back in Dallas. Back in Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll leave it right there.
He's relentless for us going to the glass, and so the Memphis Grizzlies don't move or can't win unless Ja Morant is the best version of himself.
I'm not going to sneeze at that. I'm not going to summarily dismiss that. What I would tell you is that Ja was evidently watching NBA Countdown yesterday because before the game, I was like, he's a key because guess what? His perimeter game ain't that strong. Everything else about him is spectacular, but his perimeter game isn't that strong, and he comes out and hits 2 threes to start off the damn game, for crying out loud. Now, he went the rest of the game shooting 2 of 11 from three-point range, but that doesn't negate the fact that this dude is unstoppable. He's a young superstar in this league, and he's only going to get better and better and better. I got love for him. I got love for Memphis. I'm still going with Steph Curry to answer this particular question, though. And you know why, Kendrick Perkins? Because on a day like today, the Golden State Warriors won Game 1, which means they now, for the moment, have home court advantage. And who sparks that crowd in Golden State better than Steph Curry? Who galvanizes everybody better than Steph Curry, particularly on their home court in San Francisco? That would be the babyface assassin who happens to be the greatest shooter God has ever created. That's just the way that we look at it. Even though those last 3 misses late in the game obviously is not something that I expected from him. Good looks, went in and out, but bottom line is they didn't drop through the net. In the end, I look at Steph Curry and what he brings to the table, and even though I'm loving what I'm seeing from Jordan Poole, even though I expect Klay Thompson to make amends for his performance yesterday, even though he had a big-time 3 with about 36 seconds left, but missed those 2 free throws, this engine is stirred by Steph Curry, particularly and specifically on their home court. And now that Golden State has captured home court advantage with games 3, 4, and a potential game 6 in Golden State, I'm going to tell you, in San Francisco, I'm going to tell you the player that I would rather have for the rest of this series would be Steph Curry.
And I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. Watching the game last night when Steph Curry was in foul trouble in the first half, when I looked at how they made a run, it wasn't because of Steph Curry. And I watched when they made a run, And who was in the game for the Memphis Grizzlies? Ja Morant wasn't in the game. When Ja Morant was in the game, they was up double figures. He went to the bench. All of a sudden, the league got cut to 1. So when I look at the two parties and I'm looking at how Jordan Poole emerges as the guy that they actually are going to, as the guy that actually is coming up big in those moments, and especially when it matters the most, I'm like, they got much trust in Jordan Poole right now. Not that